What could this mystery device be? Well, I think it would be easier for me to show you than tell you. Has this ever happened to you? So you get in your machine, you get locked in to do your set, watching some of your favorite YouTube content, and then an ad goes on, and the remote is all the way over there. And now you're faced with a decision. You gotta suffer through 3 minutes of this penis pill ad, or you have to get out of your machine and go deal with it. Wouldn't it be great if you could just say, "Alexa, skip it"?
Place your feet. You do have to stick that landing feet.
So, maybe you've guessed it. What this is an infrared to Wi-Fi bridge. And what it does is it lets you copy any infrared remote control through your smart home systems. So, let's double click on that. So, I have it mounted on my wall here by just using some Velcro double-sided tape. And what actually happens when I say, "Alexa, skip it"? What I did is I taught the infrared bridge how to copy my remote's OK button. And when an ad comes up and I say, "Alexa, skip it," essentially, it's just clicking OK on the remote, or at least making the TV think that that's what happened. So as you saw, it changed its screen a couple of times because it just clicked OK a few times whenever I executed the command. So that's the power of the infrared to Wi-Fi bridge. But wait, there's more. Believe it or not, I didn't buy this IR bridge just to skip ads on YouTube. In fact, I bought it to solve a completely different problem in the first place. Now, many of us exercise either in our basement or the garage. It either tends to get too cold or too hot. In my case, in the winter, the basement definitely gets pretty chilly. To remedy this, I would set up a space heater, and then I would have to go and turn it on, wait for half an hour for the room to actually warm up, and then go and do my exercises. So the space heater I have is this $50 one that I got in Costco, which is made by the brand called Lasco, and it has an infrared remote control. And now I'm able to do this. "Alexa, heater on." "Alexa, heater off."
It's off.
And because it's now integrated into my smart home system, I can also set up a routine. I can set my heater to start 30 minutes before I start my workout so that my basement is nice and balmy by the time I'm ready to work out. And this doesn't just have to work for space heaters. If you have a split unit which has an infrared control, you can use it to turn your air conditioner on ahead of time, and so on. Basically, any device that has an infrared remote control, you can teach to this infrared bridge and turn it into a smart device. And I think this really improves the quality of life in the home gym, and for an investment of $20, especially if you already have some kind of a smart home ecosystem or just Siri on your phone, I think it's a must-have accessory for your gym. Now, there are many different ones that you can find on Amazon or other websites. This is one that I found that's made by a company called Mose, which I've never really heard of before, but they seem to have a lot of good Amazon reviews, so I went ahead and ordered one. And to my surprise, the experience of setting up your account, connecting it to your smart home system, and getting it to work was actually quite smooth. So I'll go through that really quickly in the next section, but if you're not really interested in seeing all of the app beep boop bop, then I suggest you skip it. Now, once you've installed the app and configured your account, the first thing you're going to want to go do is click in the 3 dots there and go to Add Device. When you click Add Device, if it's nearby, Bluetooth should automatically detect your smart IR adapter, and then you can click on it and connect it to your Wi-Fi network. Pretty easy smart device setup compared to a lot of other ones I've done. Once the adapter is added, the next step is to teach it about your remote control. So click on Add, then click on TV, and then you can either do Quick Match or Learn Match, and depending on what type of TV model you have, your experience may be a bit different. I had a little bit of trouble getting the quick match to work, so eventually I ended up doing the manual match, where it basically asks me to press a few buttons on the remote control until it found a match in its database, and then my remote control is now active and the TV is added to the system. Once the device is added, you should be able to click a few of the buttons in the app to control your TV. So if your TV responds when you click the buttons, that means it's working. Now you want to back out to the main menu of the app and then go to Scenes. Then start creating a new scene, and we want to make it a launch tap to run. And what we're going to do is make a scene that clicks the OK button, because that's the button that we use on the remote in order to skip ads. So now that we've selected the OK button, we're going to save our scene and we're going to name it Tap OK. Once the scene is created, now we can add it to all of our smart home systems. For example, we can add it to Siri by clicking on the Siri button right there. And then we're going to give it a Siri shortcut, which we're going to name Skip It. So now we'll just be able to say, "Hey Siri, skip it," whenever we want to skip an ad that's showing in the TV. If you're an Alexa user like me, to configure your Alexa to use it, first you're going to need to go into the Alexa app and make sure you have the mouse skill added. And once the skill is added, then you're going to go back to hamburger menu and go to routines. And then you're going to go to your routines and create a new routine. And you're going to say when we use voice and say skip it, then the action we are going to perform is to activate a scene. So we're going to go here and say smart home, scenes, and then we're going to pick our newly created Tap OK scene and click add, and that should do it. And now you should be able to say, "Alexa, skip it," which will emulate pressing the OK button on your remote control, and you'll be able to skip those pesky ads whenever you want. Now, if you're still here and you're interested in getting one of these, I'll drop a link in the description below, which is an affiliate link to Amazon. If you enjoyed watching this video, please drop me a like and a subscribe, as it really helps out YouTube channels that are new like mine. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you on the next one.